Welcome to CSGuitars, the science of loud. We all know that Harley Benton makes some really excellent guitars for not a lot of money, but what would we get if we spent just a little bit more? Well, this is the SC-550 Plus, one of Harley Benton's deluxe models. Retailing at 329 Great British pounds at time of filming, this is more than twice the price of the Jai A60cc I looked at a few weeks ago. Harley Benton haven't been shy about putting the extra money on display either, with this featuring a AA grade flame maple top in amber paradise finish, locking tuners on the headstock, and a set of EMG retroactive FAT55 PAF style zebra humbuckers. This has got to be one of my favourite looks for a Les Paul style guitar. The amber on top of the flame maple is just incredible, but those pickups are doing me a concern. I've famously never got along with the traditional EMG 8185 set. I hate them for a whole bunch of entirely justifiable reasons. But these EMG FAT55s aren't like the 81s we all know and loathe. These are designed just like a traditional passive pickup, but with an active preamp bolted on, supposedly giving us the sound of a passive pickup with all the advantages of noiseless, low impedance operation. Well, I guess we'll have to plug it in to find out if that's even remotely true, but first let's take a closer look at the quality of the instrument. Doing a general inspection of the guitar, there is really nothing to complain about in terms of fit and finish. Everything is cleanly installed, as we have come to expect from Harley Benton. The locking tuners are of a very basic variety with small buttons, but they do exactly what they're supposed to: hold a string with practically no wrappings around the tuning posts. The quality of the fretwork on all the Harley Bentons has really jumped up compared to what they were shipping out just a few years ago. The Jazzmaster's frets were nice, but these are even better. Flipping the guitar over, we can see the trans red finish all over the back and neck. Nieto is an inexpensive and sustainable Asian hardwood and a somewhat reasonable analogue for mahogany. These dark spots are knots in the wood, points of growth for branches in the tree. At this small size, these aren't a structural concern in any way, and whether you consider these to be part of the natural beauty of the material or an unsightly blemish is all down to personal taste. A more expensive cut of lumber would be selected to not have these imperfections, or a solid finish would have hidden them entirely from view. Now, I personally don't have a problem with this. Seeing the grain and all of its tiny little imperfections is precisely the reason why we choose transparent finishes in the first place, and this guitar is still on the cheaper end of what an instrument can cost. And we did get a really nice flame maple top, so I shouldn't moan about it really. One minor disappointment though is that this beautiful flame maple top isn't a full carve. They've kind of copped out by having the carve fade into a flat area in the centre, as can be seen from the flat pickup rings. I imagine this probably is to make the rest of the routing easier, or perhaps there's some other technical factor limiting what can be achieved. I'd have liked a fully rounded top on this, but again, it's hard to complain because that flame is stunning and the carve doesn't impact the performance of the instrument. I am, however, a huge fan of this neck heel carve. This gives far better upper fret access than what you'd get with a traditional Gibson style neck joint. If you ask me, this is what all Les Paul neck heels should look like. In general, the lines are a little sleeker and sharper than the traditional Gibson blueprint, making this 50s design look just a little more modern. After hearing this guitar in action, it's clear that these EMGs are a hot-rodded PAF. It almost sounds like there's a boost pedal on between the guitar and the amp, and I suppose that's exactly what the preamp in these pickups is designed to do. I was so pleased to discover that the fidelity is all there, with the wide band of frequencies, the top end detail and dynamic response I expect from PAF style pickups. They just are a little juicier going into the amp, which is great with distortion and gives an 80s rock vibe. So it turns out that EMG can actually make a decent sounding set of active pickups, even if the same could technically be achieved from a normal set of passives and an overdrive pedal. But these are a selling point. Having active EMGs on a guitar at this price was what interested me enough to request this guitar be sent out, so hush my mouth, I guess. Now, it shouldn't be a surprise that Harley Benton's more expensive instruments are even better than their cheaper ones. That just seems logical, but it's nice to have it confirmed with this. The extra money is going into some more premium materials, prettier looks, blingier tuners and juicier pickups. But the fundamental quality of the less expensive instruments isn't sacrificed in the process. If you've tried and liked the cheaper Bentons, then you'll enjoy this even more. This is one I think you'd be happy to keep around for a long time. If this were to be my main Les Paul style guitar, I certainly wouldn't be disappointed. Were it me designing this, I might have opted to save money on the active pickups and instead spent it on better locking tuners and a full carved top. But those EMGs are an attractive feature, they make the guitar stand out and they sound excellent, so Harley Benton have probably made the correct choice. If this one interests you, then you will find affiliate links in the description below, and don't forget to click all of the buttons you're supposed to make this video viable to the ever-changing whims of the YouTube algorithm. That's all for now. Keep it loud and stay safe. Oh, it does look really good though.